You're inside the Power Hour, blazing old school hip hop and R&B. I'm your host, DJ Larry Jones, aka Mr. Important. If you don't know me, you don't know anybody. Now I have a special guest on the line. He's the author of the book, Refuse to Live Talented and Broke, Mr. Delano Johnson.
Hey, man, everything's doing good. Improving by the second, my brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, first off, I want to thank you so much for calling in. I know you're a busy man, you know.
Yeah, not too busy for you, man. Not too busy for you.
Oh, man, that's what's up, man. You know, I saw you on the Word Network.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I saw that episode, man, and you know, it was the book is real serious, man. You know, I mean, yeah. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I can't wait to get my hands on it. And
all right, once you crack open the book to chapter 0, right? That's right. I said chapter 0, right? I had to give a prelude for the book to take care of stuff before we get on this journey, right? So once you crack it open to chapter 0, you're not gonna put it down.
I can imagine, man. You know, there's so many things I want to talk about, but we only have a few minutes. So, and I definitely want to have you back on the show because you're not just an author. You know, you have a lot of things, other things going on as well.
Sure.
You know. Yeah. Okay. Now you've written a book, Refuse to Live Talented and Broke. Where did that title come from? How did you come up with that title?
Man, that's an awesome question. So the title, Refuse to Live Talented and Broke, actually came to me when I was about 17. I was graduating from high school, and my teacher asked a question. She came to me, she put her hand on my shoulder, she said, "Johnson, you did good." Right? So I got a bunch of awards and so forth, and she said, "You know, you did good, what are you going to do?" You know, I was voted most likely to succeed, yada, 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 and at that point when she asked me the question, there was this issue going on with me. In terms of my relationship with money, understanding money, how to earn it, how to keep it, how to leave a legacy with it, right? How to make it serve you as opposed to you serving it. Now, the reason why I was at that place is because I saw my father had everything, 3 houses on the water, right? He's the food and beverage manager. He's the executive chef at 2 of the largest, biggest hotels on the island. I'm originally from the Bahamas, Freeport, Grand Bahama. Right. And he's got restaurants, and he's doing pretty well for himself. When I was a kid, when I was younger, but at that point when I was graduating, my father had nothing. He was now sleeping in he had a 1-bedroom apartment. You know, I don't even think he had a car. You know, and so the thing that happened to me was I couldn't really adjust that experience to my impending reality. Right. Whatever happened to him, now I'm afraid that it could happen to me. It's like you see your hero go down, right? And you're wondering, do you have the strength to fight these demons? Do you have the strength to make it through these hardships? And so I just realized at the time when my teacher asked that question, I really didn't know how to attain success. But I said, whatever I do, I just don't want to be talented and broke. And that's where the title started.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. Now, this book, I take it, I haven't read it, but I take it, when I read the title, I said, now this book must be for anyone who has dreams of becoming successful at whatever he or she is good at, but don't really know how to get paid or make a living off of what it is they're good at. I mean, because you can get paid for taking the neighbor's trash out, but you can make a living at being a sanitation worker. Do you know what I mean? So this book, will it help someone to learn how to make a living at what it is he or she is good at?
Yeah, what this book is this. So, and to give you just a little bit of this backstory here. So I set on my trajectory after that day, right? I got this word, talented and broke, in my head. So from there, I was ambitious, I was focused. I'm never going to let that happen to me, Went out, I achieved some things. I was in a musical group. We were nominated for a Grammy. I actually got a scholarship to study architecture like my uncle did. But I chose to go into music. And so I had some successes, a successful brand architecture firm in New York City, you know, made my first million at 33. But then what happened, Jones, is this. By 39, I lost it all. Now, here's where I am. I'm standing in the middle of a room. And this is this house of my dreams. This is almost 8,000 square foot, 70 800 square feet, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm standing in my master bedroom and I'm broke. I'm realizing, coming to grips with the fact that I don't have any money. Coming to the fact that I can't afford, I can't afford anything. I can't even afford the paper, right, that's going to come out of the ATM machine to tell me that I'm broke, right? So what happened was I had a few friends simultaneously go through the exact same experiences. And it just so happened that, we were talking, sometimes your friends will say everything, you don't know what they're going through, but you start to see little things. Hey, yo, where's the rover, man? Oh, yeah, that's, my sister got it.
Yeah, the old cover up, right? Yeah.
My sister got it. And so we try to cover things up. And so, man, when I realized that with all of my strength and focus and tenacity that I couldn't escape this reality of walking in my father's shoes, I wanted to get information. I had a few mentors and I went and I asked questions, how did it happen? I thought I was doing the right thing, saying the right things, had a wife, 3 kids, station wagon. Well, no station wagon, but we had, that was my dream. But we had an ML, had 3 cars, pushing, Jags and Mercedes. And then I realized, man, I have to figure this out.
Right.
And that's when I dove into just information upon information, because I said, if I'm going through this, there's other people who's going through this. And then I read all of the stories. I mean, you hear them every day from Johnny Depp, who's $300 million made
right.
from, he made $300 million from Disney and he's broke, you look at, Mike Tyson, you just look at all of the stories. And at a point, I said to myself, I got to be able to figure out how this happens,
mm-hmm.
and prevent it from happening, and then teach others how this happened so they can also beware. So what this book really teaches you is this. There is a phase in your life, which is the broke stage. And that stage is designed to help you and push you towards being extremely creative.
Right.
My mother always used to say, when we don't have, that's just an opportunity to create. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is, if you're not aligned properly, if you don't understand this process, you could become depressed. You could go into hustle mode. And see, hustle mode masks all your true talents.
Right.
You'll be hustling, doing a job just to pay the bill, and you'll sweep your true talents under the carpet because you just don't have time for it right now.
That's right.
So in this book, I actually show you how to make use of your time, how to, first of all, identify all of your talents, and then how to balance between hustling and projecting your future, mastering your future.
Right.
So, there's a saying, I'm quoting here, that, the future pays royalties to them that create it. So if you had no part in creating the future, if you had no part in authoring the future, guess what? You don't get any royalties from it.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Now,
so I just walked away. In the book, I walked away with 10 things that causes extremely talented people and gifted individuals to be talented and broke.
Now, you know what? I believe God has blessed everyone with a specific talent. And I don't like to use the term hidden talent because God doesn't hide anything. But some people go through life never knowing what that talent is. So my question is, how can a person figure out what he or she is good at and capitalize on it?
Yeah. See, hidden means it is just hidden from you.
Right.
Whatever consumes your mind controls your time.
Mm.
So overly concerned about the bills, you're on that, like I said, you're on that hustle, right? It's not that you don't have the talent. It's not that you're not gifted. Is that you truly don't have the time to focus on that. And you may have forgotten what that was because you've been in hustle mode for so long,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So how can you find out? Let me tell you, the first thing you do is, what happens is when you forget who you are, right? All you have to do really is take a moment in the day, just take 15 minutes to go back in your life and listen for consistency. Somewhere when you were 5, your mom, your aunt, your grandma, your father said something to you that indicated a gift, because we see it in kids from young, from 3 to 5 years old. So maybe they said to you, oh man, boy, that boy is intelligent.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Look at what he did. Right. Oh, that girl can sing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what happened is people always confirm to you where your gifts lie, where your gold is. The word talent actually, this is a Greek word, but actually means a measure of gold. So when you look at it, when I have a talent, I have a measure of gold. What my job is to do is to convert that on the market in life. That's what I have to do.
Wow.
So the way that you get from having gold, right? You got to go and you got to convert that into currency. And the way you do that is by creating value in what you do. So let's say, your mother said, hey man, you used to sing and maybe you sang in the choir, maybe you sang in the boys group, maybe you had a little group, but then, you got a girl pregnant and then you just did what you had to do to take care of your son, right?
Yeah, and that
I commend you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, stuff happens,
yeah.
right? But if you did that, I commend you because you just responded to responsibility. You did what you had to do. But after a few years, that gift is going to gnaw at you. It's going to keep gnawing at you.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not a matter of
definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's not a matter of you not knowing that it exists. It's just a matter of you paying attention and giving it the time when it starts to gnaw at you. Right? So there's 10 reasons that will keep you from getting to that place.
And without giving too much away, what's one of those keys? Because I know people listening probably saying, well,
yeah,
how do I go about it? And I know they have to read the book to find out the rest, but what's one of those
keys? Yeah, they got to read the book. And here's the thing. A lot of times people say, yeah, I'm not talented and broke, I'm not talented and broke because they're on that hustle. But let me tell you, if 20 years have been passed, right? If for 20 years you've been faking it till you make it, guess what? You talented and broke.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing happening yet after 20 years. You still faking it until you make it. You talented and broke, right?
Right.
If you own a business and you spend money on a Coach bag instead of a business coach, guess what?
You're talented and broke.
Guess what? If your investment portfolio consists of pick 5 and lottery tickets,
yeah.
Guess what?
You're talented and broke.
And let me give you this last one. Guess what? If you driving a Land Rover and still got a landlord, bro, you talented and broke.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's the qualifications. But here's the good news. DJ. There are 10 things that cause you from coming into the realization of who you are. And the 7th reason in the book that you could be talented and broke, this is chapter 7. The 7th reason why you could be talented. Matter of fact, let me give you the 6th. The 6th reason why you could be talented and broke is because you have too many spectators in your life and not enough team players.
Right.
You get on the sideline waiting for you to score, waiting for you to win the championship. Why?
So they can ride the wave. They can ride the wave, They
can ride the wave, get an interest-free loan, right, and be in the in crowd.
Yep.
Right? Here's number 7 for you. You could be talented and broke right now because your creativity is poisoned by toxic relationships. The person who you are with, if they're not nurturing your gift, exciting your gift, your talent, they're not always constantly telling you. And that's another way that you will get confirmation. If the person is really in tune with who you are, you will always hear words like this. I mean, you're so good at this. Why don't you just, I mean, you're the best at this. How come you don't, That's the type of thing that you would hear from that person. Not, you know what, you don't have time to do that. We have bills.
I was just having a conversation with somebody about that today where they're doing really well for themselves and their significant other is threatening to leave. You know what I mean? Oh, well, this ain't really working out. It's that fear. I mean, I don't know if it's jealousy or what it is, but it's that fear of if this person makes it, they're going to forget about me. And, and my thing is just be supportive. You know what I mean? Be supportive of your spouse,
Yeah. You can't support what you fear.
Right.
You cannot support what you fear. The opposite of love is not hate. It is fear.
Mm-hmm.
So this is someone who does not understand your shine.
Right.
Okay? They're afraid. They're afraid of the real you coming to light, coming into the spotlight. And maybe they're not afraid for the moment. Maybe they want to jockey for position so that when the spotlight comes on, they can jump in front. Right? They can jump in that light, and steal some of that glory, steal some of your shine. The person for you, and relationships. Listen, I've read so many books: Millionaire Next Door, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Whose Money Is This? Listen, I've read well over 500 books before I wrote this book.
Wow. How long did it take you to write this book?
Well, you look at it. I was 17 when I got the idea, when I got this word. But see, sometimes we have ideas, but we got to let them simmer. We got to let them season.
Exactly.
Because you got to go content in order to give people context. You got to live the content, right? So it's from 17, like I said, I had some successes. So at that point, 20, 25, 30, up until 33, I had no reason to write a book called Talented and Broke because my life was on an upward trajectory.
Right.
It was not until I lost everything at 39, including my marriage, right? So you look at it this way. I actually started to really write it, when I started to notice some things and some friends going through some issues when I was about 35, around about 35, 36.
Right.
So about 10 years. Okay, so about 10 years. About 10 years really is when I would say, is you give or take a year or two, is the time that I invested into creating a book that will answer hard questions, that would be a guide, a map for people who are extremely creative, who I call, super creative and multi-talented individuals, right? And a lot of people don't even know how talented they are or how creative they are. If you're the one to come up with solutions on the job, if you're the one in the family they always turn to say something, to do something that's needed, if you're the one between you and your friend who always says, where we going to go tonight, right? You're the person who's the most creative. And in any relationship, the most creative person will always lead. Every relationship has two people. There's a seeker and there's a settler. The seeker is the most creative. The settler is a manager. So my goal is to help people define who they are, where they are, and how to monetize their creativity and successfully navigate through all of the pitfalls in that phase I call talented and broke.
If someone wanted to get their hands on this book and buy it, how could they go about doing that? They
can just go on talentedandbroke.com. That's it. You go there, you pick the book up, and listen. And also, I also give the 15-minute free consultation. I'm so dedicated to this information that everybody that purchases a book, they get a free 15-minute consultation. You can crack open the book, you start to read. I give some advice on how to read the book, depending on where you are. It's good because when I do an initial talk, I'm able to help and pinpoint where you are on your trajectory. You got to go through the creative life transformation to get to talented and successful. That's why I want to get you. But I want to show you how to sustain wealth, not just getting and attaining wealth. So you give a call, I talk to you, and then you start your journey. And from there, it's all about, having check-ins. But I want to, when I read books, and like I said, well over 500 books, if I had access to the author, I would have been able to retain a lot more from the books, because then I get into the mind of the author.
Yeah.
What was he thinking with this and what was he thinking with that?
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to do, make available. So they can go to talentedandbroke.com. They can hit me up on social media. Delano, that's at Delano A. Johnson, Delano A, like Alpha Johnson, JOHNSON.
I feel like you should have a doctor in front of your name. I mean, you just dropped so much knowledge. I just soaked it up like a sponge. I cannot wait to read this book, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
It's
Appreciate
like
it, bro.
Amazing, man. But listen, I really want you to call back for a part 2, because I want people to know what else you do. Now, let me rewind for a minute. What group was it that you were in? What singing group you were in?
So the group was called System 3. And we were a group from the islands. We call ourselves System 3, and the style of music that we did was, we called it Caribbean hip hop, right? So it was like this blend of, let's say, Bilal meets Lauryn Hill meets Bob Marley, right?
Yeah.
And we did, we were on an album where we got to meet some of the greats, man, and sing with some of our idols, Smokey Robinson and Chinese Wilson, Boyz II Men, Stevie Wonder. It was an album called Motown Comes Home. You can check it out. You see us on the cover. We did some writing. I did some playing on it as well. But that single, that album was nominated for Grammy Award back in '91, I think it was.
We gotta save that for part 2. We definitely have to save that for part 2. Thank you so much, brother, for calling in. You just dropped a jewel on everybody. Go pick the book up. Refuse to Live Talented and Broke, Mr. Delano A. Johnson. Thank you so much for calling, brother.
Peace, bro.
All right, keep it locked in right here. More music is on the way.
Lock into the Power Hour every Friday night at 5 p.m. with DJ Larry Jones and Miss Tempest playing your favorite old school hip hop and R&B.